YouTube channel. I hope you all are doing well, and I am Vanshika and you all are watching Artsphere. And here I am sitting on my desk and trying to explain you stuff about art, mediums, and everything related to art. And I hope you all have watched my previous videos. And if you have not, please check them out. And if you have any doubt, any query related to that video or not related, or any other like normal stuff about art you want to ask, you can always DM me via Instagram, or you can email me as well. The links are there in the description, or you can also mention your query in the comment section. I'll try to answer that there. Okay. Now, before starting the video, my last video was like a total blast, and I was like kind of surprised. It was not blast like if you'll compare it with other YouTubers who've been working like since 2-3 years, not in that sense, but on my channel, like it was this much engagement and everything I've not seen like earlier, and it was kind of different, and I was very nervous also because it was kind of like a responsibility in me that now I have to cater these many people with my content, and of course it has to be good and it has to be informative. So that's why I'm working upon myself also now more than what I was working before. So that's going to help me to improve my skill eventually. So thank you very much for to all those people who liked, comment, and subscribe to my channel in my previous video or in any video, and if you have watched or whatever. So thank you very much to each one of you, because on this platform, this is the only way through which I get to know what like how my content is actually like. Are you really liking it? Are you really, it's is it beneficial for you all or not? And this is the only way. And the comments in my last video and the DMs as well, which I got, they were like very heartwarming, and thank you very much for that. And just continue with this same tradition. Okay, so thank you very much for that. So now let's begin with the video. So this is not like my any other previous video in which I used to create any artwork or anything which was like hyper realistic, or I created a still life as well. So if you have not watched, you can check that out. And this is kind of different, and this is of course because of your demand I have made this video. I get a lot of question how you have improved, because it's been around an year and a half since I actually started year. And so since I started drawing, I just put a picture of my first very first still life. I started from still life only, and you can of course see the improvement from that stage to now. And so that's why I get a lot of DM regarding that, how have I improved, what do I do to improve my sketching and everything. So in this video I'll be telling you that only. Also, just keep a diary with you, or just make a sketchbook. Every artist has a sketchbook. Just write on that. What I do whenever I attend a workshop or I watch any YouTube video, I just write the name of the YouTuber, the name or the title of the video, and I just jot down some points over there which are important and necessary, which of course I'll be able to learn something from those. Maybe some terminologies about arts, about perspective, eye level, and everything. I'll be telling that in this video. So just keep notepad or anything and a pen or pencil with you. Just jot down those points. I'll not be telling like proper definition, because of course you're not giving any exam that you have to write definition. I'll try to explain it while creating some images. For example, I tell you how perspective is, what is vanishing point, what is horizon, and everything. So just keep a pen and paper with you, and this is going to be a very informative and a new kind of video. But of course, do not worry about key now she'll be making only these kind of video. This will be also like once in a month, and this is like a complimentary video you can say. You'll of course get that artwork one video with this video, but I'll keep like a gap of 2 or 1 week in between, because the other videos, they kind of take a lot of time to create. The last video of that hyper realistic sketch of an old man, I took me around a week and a half to like literally like draw that whole sketch, because that was quite big. It was a A2 size sketch, and of course editing and everything I have to do myself, so it kind of take a lot of time. and I had my exams as well, so that's where the delayed. So I'm sorry for that. And now let's jump into this video. Okay, so now the two materials that you require is a normal paper. This is that normal Xerox paper or printer paper, whatever you want to say, that is normally available in the market, and it's quite cheap. So you'll not be worried about कि paper waste हो रहा है या नहीं. You'll be like free, and hence your line will also flow because there is no pressure upon you. Second thing you'll need is a pencil. Any pencil you can use. This is Stellar Graphite 0.5 mechanical, or you can use any normal pencil of Doms or of Apsara, anything. I'll be using this one. So now let's begin. So now first exercise, or first whatever you want to say, is line work. First you need to work upon lines. Okay, so how can we do this? Now this is not only for beginners, even as advanced artists or even masters, whoever's like before starting any masterpiece, we do line practice. Now what you're going to do in this line practice, just take a normal sheet of paper, and just draw straight line on it. If you are unable to draw, just put like two dots, try to join them in a straight line. Do not be like this, and then join it. It should go straight. This is going to improve your lines, and which eventually is going to build up confidence. So your lines should have confidence, basically, because if you are drawing like this, which normally artists they do, even if when they have to make a circle, they'll do like this. You do not have to do that. Even if you are making a circle, it should be like this, even if it's wrong, it doesn't matter. So create a lot of lines, slanting lines, straight lines. Okay, from right to left, from left to right, in all the directions, slanting, horizontal, whatever. Just fill a page of paper with this until and unless your lines are straight. In the beginning, what is going to happen, your lines are going to go like this, or it is going to be like this. So we do not need such kind of line. Just keep on doing this until you get that crisp straight line. Okay, now these practices or whatever exercise I'm telling you, this is not for one day. You have to like keep on doing this continuously in order to improve your artwork, and working upon your lines is really going to help you in the process of drawing. Okay, okay, now first step is complete. When your lines are like crisp straight, then you're going to move to the next step. Otherwise, just continue this first step. Okay, so now second one is shapes. Now our line work is perfect, so now we have to work upon shapes. So let's start with square, rectangle, normal shape, normal 2D shapes. Okay, circle. Now create a lot of circles. Now here, if you just saw what I draw right now, I did like this. My wrist didn't move. Okay, Even if your circle is wrong or whatever is happening, just try not to move your wrist. Okay, now this kind of flow, everything is going to happen with practice. You have to move your shoulders, okay, not your wrist. Your arm and shoulder movement should be there. Now in a smaller surface, you can still do like this with your fingers or your wrist, whatever you are drawing. Like we do like wrist movement like this, you can still draw it using your wrist. But when there is like a very huge canvas in front of you or very huge papers in front of you, then this wrist movement is not going to work. Then you are going to do like this only. You're going to break lines and then you are gradually going to join them, which doesn't look nice. So when we work on like larger canvases or larger surface, so for that our shoulder movement is very important, and that's why you need to practice this, because our brain, it has like a memories, it has stored this thing that we are only going to use either our wrist or our fingers to create anything. So it is going to take time for the shoulder movement thing. Okay, so you will have to practice this a lot. Then create some more shapes, some more squares, some more lines, some more crisscross. So okay, now when you're done with shape, so basic things are clear. Now to draw any object, okay, the basic things that we require is, first of all, lines, and second is shapes. So now we are perfect and we are good to go to the next step, to the terminologies or about understanding the structure of objects or of human figure or whatever you are studying, portraiture or whatever. So these two things should be very clear in your mind, and you should be master of these two things. Okay, and until and unless you do not improve, please do not move to the further steps which I'm telling you or to the further information that I'm giving you. First focus on this. Just pause the video in between, just practice this for 2 months or 3 months, whatever time it takes, and then move to the other one. Now these two practices which I told you, it is not only that you will just do it for 2 months and after that you will just master these and you will not do them on daily basis. Even I do it before creating any artwork just to have that flow. This is basically a warm-up thing. Okay, making circles, this is just going to loosen up your hands, your wrist and your shoulder, the most important thing. So you really need to work upon these, and also you can use this as a warm-up technique or warm-up, whatever you want to say, before starting any huge drawing or even a small one. You really need to have flow in your lines, and even rigid, your lines should be rigid as well. For example, if we are making a straight line, it is rigid. You should be able to draw that straight line, okay, without any points. In the beginning you can start by like 2 dots, then maybe you increase that, then increase like this, but afterwards you should be able to draw like this. Okay, so now let's go to the next step or whatever. So now, third thing, now we're going to start the drawing part. This was the warm-up and everything, whatever you had to learn, the basic thing. Now the third thing is object drawing. Now as a beginner, I feel that every beginner should start with object drawing. Now you'll ask why? Why not portraiture or why not something else? Objects are like still life, basically what we say, object drawing or still life. Okay, still life, in still life you can like add a lot of things, you can add draperies and everything. In object drawing, a normal object is kept. Okay, So object drawing, why? Because object is first of all still in front of you. It is not going to move. Whereas if you want to study portraiture, then you'll have to either get a model, which will be damn expensive, and models are not at all affordable. So either any of your family member or your friend is going to sit, and that person is not going to sit for 3 hours just for your drawing. So basically still life for that reason. Moreover, the human face, the structure of a human body is quite complex. So in order to understand, you need to simplify it into forms and objects. They are like the best thing. For example, this bottle is there. So how can you simplify? There is a rectangle, and then there is a cylinder on top of it. Okay, simple. Now if I'll just add a human figure, then it will be quite difficult. There is a circle, like brain is a circle, then the nose is coming out like a triangle, then there are lips and everything, and then your human face is made. And then also you have spinal cord and everything. If you study the anatomy and everything, then there we have to study the skull and everything. But in object drawing, we do not have to study the structure, like to go like in depth what's under your, like your skin or whatever. You do not have to just see that. There is an object in front of you, and you just have to simplify it into shapes, and then you're good to go. So that's why just start with the still life. Keep simple objects in front of you which are opaque. For example, eraser you have, or you can keep a flower pot without the flower, of course, because then it will be a bit complex. Just a pot, or you can keep a sharpener, and there are many more opaque objects around you. You can just keep whatever you want and draw quick sketches, like 5-minute sketch, 10-minute sketch. It is going to improve your lines, the flow of lines. And when you're restricted in time, then your mind automatically sees object in simpler shapes. So you're not going to like focus on the details, because you know that you have limited time. You do not have time to shade it and to add details into the object. So of course your mind is going to work according to that situation. So therefore limiting your time is also going to help you. And do not hesitate to draw a lot of lines. For example, if you have to draw a bottle, just this is the center line, this is the cap of the bottle. Just like draw a lot of lines. Now you saw when it was straight, I just got it like this. But when there was a curve, I drew a lot of line to get the perfect one. So just do not hesitate while drawing, okay? And you can do like this, straight line. Perfect. Your object drawing is complete. Now you can just do like this and improve whatever is wrong or whatever you feel is not correct. Just improve that. Okay, perfect. Now this, I completed this, I don't know, I didn't calculate the time, maybe 1 minute, 1.5 minutes. So it was so easy. Why I was able to complete in 1 minute or 1.5 minutes? Because I have practiced every day with a variety of objects. I do not only take bottles, I have practiced flower pots, flowers, vase, or pen, pencil, pencil stand, brushes, everything. So hence I'm able to work upon my lines, and my lines have confidence in it. And a lot of character is there in the object when you draw a lot of lines in creating an object. Okay. Now let me sum up this whole exercise or whatever step you want to call it to you. First of all, you need to focus on lines and shapes. Okay. Second, do not hesitate to draw a lot of lines. Third, practice on daily basis, even if your sketch look like even if it doesn't look like a bottle also, if it looks 2D also, Still, just work upon it slowly and gradually, it will improve. Do not lose hope and work upon the proportions. For example, how can you work upon the, for example, there was a label over here. Okay, just imagine there's no such bottle in front of me that I could imagine, that I could see, sorry. So that's why from imagination I'm just telling. There is this. Now what I can see from here, that this label is somewhat equal to this. Okay, and this portion is somewhat equal to this. So this is kind of divided into three parts, and this is half of this. Are you getting? Like, I divided this whole bottle into parts. How many parts? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 equal parts. So this is the proportion. So the cap is 2 upon 7. The proportion of the cap as compared to this whole bottle. I didn't include the top, just leave that from here to here. Okay, so this is how you can work upon the proportion. As slowly and gradually as you will practice, you will not have to draw these lines. You'll be able to see and observe the whole object properly, and then you'll be able to perceive whatever the proportion is and whatever you want to keep as the reference to proportionate other objects. Even in still life, for example, there was a bottle over here. Maybe the bottle was twice of this ink pot or whatever it is. Okay, so accordingly I'm going to work upon my objects and make the whole still life. I'm going to start with one object and then gradually I'll build up the whole still life. And when we start drawing, just do not be like I drew this whole object. And when you have a lot of object, do not draw like this. Just mark your object. For example, just create a small thumbnail. For example, there's a bottle over here. Okay, width of the bottle is somewhat like this. Okay, like this it is going to increase, somewhat like this. There is a bottle over here, and then there is orange and grapes, like this. So this whole area has grapes. I'm not going to make each and every grape. I'm just going to simplify it into like blocking. Basically I'm blocking these objects and proportionating them to them. For example, this orange is half of this bottle from this portion. So you see, again I have divided it into proportion. So this is the way in which you are going to get your perfect object drawing or perfect still life, whatever you mean. So I hope it is clear. Now let's talk about the next thing. Fourth, now you're done with object drawing, but now here are some components or some terminologies or whatever you want to say while you create an object. First we are going to talk about eye level. So what is an eye level? Okay, when you look straight, just look straight right in front of you, whatever is there. Just keep an object in front of you. Okay, it should be at your eye level. Just look straight, your eyes should be straight, your head should be straight, and just see whichever object is there in front of you. Now if your eye level is in like the middle of that object, and this is that whole object, for example. Okay, again I'll just create a bottle. It's not perfect, just okay. For example, it's like this. So eye level is like a Wi-Fi, you can say. Eye level is like a Wi-Fi, straight, then it's going to curve, not this much, like less, then more, then more, then more, and here it's going to be like opposite, reflection of this basically. So even though your object is straight, but due to eye level it is going to be like this. So this and this is going up, so hence this. Okay, so this was eye level. Mistake which most of the beginners make is this one, that we know that it is straight, so hence we just make it like straight line, straight, crispy straight line, and it is wrong. There is going to be maybe a little bit, but there is going to be some curve. Okay, now fifth, perspective. Okay, now what is perspective? Perspective itself has a lot of terms which I'm going to tell you. Okay, so for example, this is my sheet, and perspective basically makes you see, like for example, there is a tree over here. The tree which is there in front of you is going to be very big, whereas a tree that is far away is going to be small. So this is perspective. The thing that is closer, the closer the thing is, the bigger it appears, and the far the thing is placed, the smaller it is going to appear. So this is basically what perspective is. I'm not going to tell the whole definition. If you like really want to know the definition, you can just Google it, because here I'm here to explain you stuff and not like make you cram something. And there is no exam going on over here, so you do not require the definition. So now there are various types of perspective: 1 point, 2 point. Okay, this might take a bit of time for you to understand what these perspectives are. Okay, so this this line can be anywhere. This is called as horizon. I was going to call it center line, so that's why I have to tell that it can be anywhere. It can be here also, it can be here also. Okay, horizon. Horizon is basically beyond this point we cannot see. It's like finished. What happens in normal life also, like there's a railway track, for example, over here. Okay, so beyond a point we'll not be able to see what's after that. Okay, so that point is horizon, and this point on horizon is known as vanishing point. Vanishing point. Okay, so now this vanishing point can be anywhere, but it has to be on this line, on this horizon. Okay, it can be here also, like this. Maybe the railway track is like this. It can be here also, maybe it's like this, or whatever. Now this vanishing point is from where this whole image is like basically ending. For example, if there is a road like this, now here it's probably going to end. After this point we are not able to see anything. For example, if there are trees, the trees are going to be in this line. Are you able to understand? And trees are also going to be in perspective, though all the trees are not of same height, but if they are, then it's going to be like this. The trees are going to get smaller and smaller in size according to the vanishing point. I'm making these normal drawings like trees and everything because it's easy to draw. I'm drawing like small nursery kid, I know that, but I just have to explain you and not just show off my skills or whatever. So for explanation, I think this is the best thing. Next, let's talk about 2 point. Okay, for example, this is a building. There are two roads. One road is coming from this side, one road is coming from this side. So we are going to assume this thing. And this is, for example, like a line of building along the road. Okay, this is that building, and this is the road, and this is the footpath or whatever you want. Path, and it has trees and everything on it. Now, for example, I want to make this shop or this house. There's a window over here. So each and every line that is going in this direction towards the point, okay, that line is going to come from the vanishing point itself. Okay, so now this vanishing, what is the use of this vanishing point? This vanishing point is going to make this whole thing look 3D. Okay, for example, I'm making a door over here. Okay, so this building is made. Now there is a building, it's like a bit smaller as compared to this one. It will come like this. Okay, I hope it is clear. It might take like a little bit of time for you people to understand what a vanishing point is, what is horizon. I just wanted to explain to you what it is because it is very important part of composition even in object drawing. For example, there is a sharpener over here, okay, and it has a vanishing point over here. All the lines of that sharpener, or just let's take an example of normal object. They are going to be for example, this is a book. Okay, this is how we are going to make 3D objects. So that's why I wanted to tell you what vanishing point is, so that it's clear how to make objects. Now this is a book. Now let's make it like this. For example, book is like kept in front of you. For example, this is a book and I'm viewing it from this side like this. So I'm going to tell you how I'll make that. This is quite thin. I'm going to make a bit thicker one. Okay, this is, let me keep the book here itself. This is this portion of the book, the pages which are visible to me. Okay, and the vanishing point is, of course, the book is going to go like this and then it is going to vanish somewhere over here. Now that vanishing point, maybe it is outside my whole paper, but doesn't matter. Let's see. Now it depends upon what is your angle. Is it very low? If it's very low, then maybe the line, this is the book. But if you are like viewing it from above, then it is going to be somewhat like this. So it depends upon your view and your angle from where you're viewing it. Okay, now this is also going to have that eye level one thing. Okay, as soon as it is going to go this side, for example, it has spiral binding. The curve is going to increase slowly and gradually. Like this. I hope it is clear to you all. Okay, this was book. Now using this whole technique, you can make any object from any position. This is 2-point perspective and this was 1-point perspective. There are many 3-point perspective, multi-perspective, there are a lot of perspectives, but basically you should know these two at least, okay, in order to make a composition or an object. Okay, even when you like make a scene, for example, there is a room scene or there's a living room scene or there's whatever scene is given, or even if when you make a laptop, when you can use this vanishing point to make it look 3D. Otherwise what generally people will do, they'll just make like two rectangles and they'll be like, this is a laptop, but this is not a laptop. How are you going to make it look like a laptop? This is the screen and the vanishing point is right here, and this is the keyboard and all the other keys that is there in your laptop. Just a rough figure I have made. Please do not judge me by this drawing. Just to explain you people, I have made this drawing. Okay, I hope it's clear. So now let's move on to the next step. Okay, so now after you have understood all of this and you are like master in all of these situations, then we are going to move to the next one. Next one is, how are you going to hold a pencil? Now I told you about the shoulder movement thing. Okay, so now in order to make sure that you are moving your shoulder, and even to enhance your wrist movement, I'm going to tell you another grip except this one. This one that we are practicing since our childhood, so just remove this grip from your mind. We are going to hold the pencil like this. Now why like this? Why like this? It is going to enhance your wrist movement, like the flow of the wrist, of course, and it is going to help in the shoulder movement as well. Now either you can hold it like this or like this, depends upon you. Also, while you're shading, you can use this grip to shade a larger area like this, and shading is just going to be perfect, and you will not require any blending tool or anything. You'll be able to do it like this. And this kind of shading we do when we are doing object drawing, to give like a quick background. For example, this is an object. Wait. For example, this is an object and I have to give the background of, now it's quite small, just like a rough background we give. And this kind of background we give when the shading in the object is very light. Okay, because the background is going to be like dark, so of course it is. And this is the table, so do not shade here. Sorry, by mistake it happened. This is the table. Sorry, wait. This is the table, and this is where the object is, or whatever it is. Just example, for an example I just said. Okay, I hope you understood. You can just shade like this, and you, this kind of look nice when you use in a sketchbook. You can try it. Okay, so this grip, just try this out if it works for you, and if it doesn't, then you can of course continue with that grip. This grip is going to help you when you work on larger canvases or larger surfaces. In this one you can use normal grip, doesn't matter. To try this out, this grip is going to help you to provide a greater range of motion, because of course your shoulder movement is there, so the movement of your hand and everything is going to be much smoother and is going to be like with a lot of flow. Okay, but it is going to take time, because our brain has a storage or has a memory that we only work with our hand like this with wrist movement and with finger movement, and therefore it takes time for a brain to adapt to this new environment or to this new situation. Okay, so now these will all the tips, tricks, whatever you want to call these, exercise or whatever, which you have to practice on daily basis. And in order to do so, just maintain a sketchbook, because it is like a motivation for you, and it is always going to be like, I have to fill it. It is like a motivation, daily motivation, that I have to fill this. And write a date, always make this a habit. Okay, write a date over here or at the back of the page, wherever you want to, and just do it. And you do not need to buy those expensive sketchbook to do this kind of work. Just buy that normal student quality sketchbook of Classmate or whichever company we get in the market. Their pages are quite good as compared to this Xerox, but you can Xerox paper, but you can use these also. And wait, if you like this video and you find it informative, then please do give it a thumbs up. Do subscribe to my channel. Please leave a comment below, because that's the only way that I'm going to get to know that, like, what should I change or anything. And of course your critique opinion is also very important in the growth of this channel, so please just take it as a responsibility of yours. I have my responsibility to cater you with good content, and your responsibility is to give feedback, whether it's positive or it's like critique or whatever. So just write anything, whatever you feel after watching this